going on, guys? Chris here with Tutcove.com, and I got a little extensive tutorial here. It's going to be pretty much advanced. If you guys don't follow my Twitter for the Tutcove, which is twitter.com/Tutcove, I am rolling out a new website called Web Design Cove. Let me pull it up real quick for you. It's taking a little to load. Server's still kind of messed up. Site's not really up yet, but as you know, Tutcove is just really tutorials, and there's some basic stuff on here, and I'm launching Web Design Cove right now. You can see it right here, and on Web Design Cove, I'm going to have a bunch of video tutorials, but I'm going to have them aimed towards beginners and intermediates, and here on Tutcove, we're going to bump up the level of the tutorials to about advanced, high, intermediate level, so you're going to see less basic tutorials on Tutcove, and if you still need those basic ones, you can come over to Web Design Cove, and it's actually a forum I got, vBulletin. You can go ahead and sign up and post and talk to everyone. Site's not really up yet, Web Design Cove, but it will be soon. Anyways, back to what I'm saying. So Tutcove, here I am, got a tutorial. I'm going to show you guys how to do this cool wallpaper here that I made. Let me pull it open here in Photoshop so you can get a better look. Full-size wallpaper, native to my resolutions, 1280 by 800, I think. And yeah, it's going to be how to do this cool little design. It's not going to be like exact how I did it, because honestly I do not really remember 100%, but I'm just going to teach you guys techniques and stuff on how to make your own wallpaper and little photo manipulation thing here. So to get started, you want to have an idea of what you want to do, and this is the render I use right here. I got off of DeviantArt.com, so you can come over to DeviantArt. Here I am. I got some textures open I'm going to use too, and you can search. They got a photography section, and just message the person who took the photo and let them know you're going to use it. And so I got this cool little guy here. Here it is at full size, and I'm going to go ahead and make a wallpaper with them. And the first thing you want to do is, if you're making it for your computer, find out what your resolution is. So Windows 7, go open the control panel, display screen resolution. It'll tell you your resolution. I'm at 1280 by 800. So I'm going to make my document 1280 pixels by 800. Okay? And let me go ahead. Let me pop open my PSD for the other wallpaper. Might want to pick and grab things from it. So as you can see, here's the final product. It's not that many layers when you really think about it to have this cool little effect. So I'm going to go ahead and pick drop this color from here. So I'm going to start out with my background, and I'm using this color here. You can see the hex code right there. Leave it there for a second. EEDB5 C5. And what you want to do is I had to unlock the layer. You double click the bottom layer to unlock it, of course. I've taught you guys many times. And let's go ahead and fill that background layer with the color, and I'm going to rename it to background. And let's go ahead and get this render dropped into there. So I'm going to go to my render, press Control A, Control C to copy it. Come in here, press Control V to paste it, and we'll be on a new layer. So I can close that one. And let's kind of zoom in a little, and first what we want to do is get rid of this background. So we're going to take a lasso tool here, and you want your feathering on 15 pixels at the top. And we're going to do it like this. Kind of make selections around the outside and just hit the delete key. And just going to keep kind of doing that. You can zoom out and get a better look. The best, you got to make sure you get rid of these edges, because when you use the feathering and delete, it still kind of leaves like a light area of the, you can still kind of tell it has a border basically. So you might want to hit delete a few times. See, like right there. And get rid of all that. And don't worry about the waves and stuff, because we're just going to blend that in. So there we go. We got a little render there. Perfectly cut on there, and we can blend this so easily. So people think you always got to like cut out these renders exactly. You don't. So I'm going to create a new layer and call it brush 1, and we're going to go ahead and start brushing. So you should have some brush sets in your Photoshop arsenal. If not, you can get some on DeviantArt, the website I showed you earlier, and we're going to want to look for splattery, grungy type brushes. I'm just going to find a good set here. I really don't have that many, but like I said, you can get them from DeviantArt. People put up there are literally thousands of brush sets. So I'm going to use this guy right here. Don't forget you can change the diameter of the brush, which makes it bigger, or really small. It's up to you how big you use. And I'm going to go ahead and switch my foreground to white. And I'm going to just start kind of brushing around this guy. And switching up my brushes. You just want to get some brushing going on. And I know you guys are like, hey, you're brushing over the render, but that's fine because I'm going to move that layer down. Go ahead, switch up the brush sets. You know, you're not limited to just one brush set. So I'm going to bring that layer down real quick. Actually, you know what we're going to do? Keep the brush layer on top. We'll just use our eraser tool layer. And just keep kind of getting some brush action going on. Brushing, there's really no technique. I had a video which showed you a blending technique with brushing, but it's really I guess you could say trial and error. And all you need is one click. You don't need to hold it down and brush it all around and stuff. So now I'm going to grab the eraser tool and I'm going to use a splatter brush. Go select splat brush and make sure you have the eraser tool selected. And we're going to erase with the splatter brush right over the render, just to get all the brush off of him. And you see it kind of blends it in a little. And I'm going to do another layer of brushing. We'll call this brush 2. And this time I'm going to brush with our background color. So if you don't have it selected still, go to your background, color drop tool, click it, select it. And on this layer, more brushing, but we're using our background color. So if you watch my how to brush video, then you will know what I'm doing here and how I do it. So as you can see, I'm changing up brush sets, trying to mix it up. I can never memorize what each one looks like, but there we go. And I'm going to switch back to white a little. Go ahead and get the eraser tool again. You're going to erase some of this off the render. Let's use a ghost abstract to erase. And just click around. So there we go. Got that coming in there. Looks pretty cool. I like it. So let's make this render stand out some more. So I'm going to duplicate it and press Control J to do that. And I'm going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and about 1 pixel will be good. And again, grab your eraser, and I'm just going to take a little off his head because I want his head to shine. And we're going to go to Filter, Sharpen, Sharpen to make that guy stand out more. As you can see, it's much more bright now. So let me look back at here, see if I'm really missing anything. Now we're good on that front right there. So actually, let's get some more brushing in. Like I said, I don't remember exactly what I did, just trying to go through the steps again. And we're going to use blue to brush this time. So the blue color I'm using is right there, 8CD, C5D4. And again, more brushing on a new layer. Why do I keep changing? So there we go. Some nice grunge brushes. And again, eraser tool. Just take away. And now I'm going to use this orange color here. Kind of taking the color palette from my other document. It's F0722B. New layer for this brush, brush 4. Again, more brushing. Doesn't take skill to brush. Anyone can brush. That's actually not true for the most part. Some people could mess it up pretty bad. You know, in art class and middle school. As you can see, I went down a layer because I noticed there was brush on top of the guy and I saw it was blue, so that's my blue layer. And we don't want that on top of him directly. And you see how that blur we gave it gives it a little cool underwater effect, and then the face looks like it's almost popping out of there. So let's zoom out and see how this kind of looks from afar. That's awesome. That looks really cool, you know. So our next step, let me look back here again. Let's get these big tribal-y brushes going on. So that brush set, I actually do recall which one it is. I think. Star Walt lines and bars. There we go. So I gotta look through here and find out which one I exactly used. I should just record when I make this stuff in the first place. I think that was it. Yeah, that was it. So we'll crank it up a little. Once again, this brush set is Star Wall Lines and Bars. You can find it on DeviantArt, I'm pretty sure. And we're going to use that brush with one of each color. So this is going to go on a new layer. Just call it lines or something. And we're going to go plop one right there like that. Cool. And then come on over to the eraser tool and get it off our guy like I showed you. And I kind of want to leave a little bit on him like down here, but we could fade it a little like that. And now we're going to duplicate this layer, Control J, and come over here because we need this orange color. Well, you won't be coming over here, I will. Grab that same orange we use, F0722B, and we're going to do our other side. So I duplicated that tribal art brush. I'm going to press Control and click that layer. Don't do that. And then go to Edit, Fill, and the foreground, which should be that orange. Now we're going to go to Edit, Transform, Flip Horizontal. And then we got a cool little asymmetrical. Well, it was supposed to be asymmetrical, but it's not flipping quite well. That's fine though. Just kind of erase some more. And that's how I got those little tribal-y parts. And you'll see right here at the bottom, I did not plan for this. It kind of just stops. So what I'm going to do is grab the single row marquee tool, click on it, press Control T, and just drag it down to extend it. Doesn't really fit well, but makes it continue on, gives it a cool effect. I'm going to do it with the other layer, Control T, drag it down. I think they call that a pixel stretch. God, that was an old technique. I used to make forum signatures. So you can see right now I got this coming along. I did notice right here on this yellow guy right now, he's got still got some brush on his face. So I'm actually just going to go with my soft pixel brush so I can get that off directly. And it might be on the lines layer. Yes, it is. So erase that off the lines layer. Try it on the other one. See, you got some white on them. Basically, you're just going to go through all my brush layers and keep erasing until it gets off his happy face. There we go. And one more that should clear it up. There we go. That face nice and beautiful. Now I want to get a little sunshiny effect on him. Just get some brightness coming on his face. So again, soft pixel brush, and the lighting layers are fun. So let's create a new one for light. And you can use white, but actually I want to use orange because it gives it a kind of cool effect. So you see our sun is kind of coming from over here. See that bright spot there? So I'm going to go doop right there just once. And just kind of cycle through these blending layers, and oh, that looks cool. So let's set it on color burn. And that's the thing when you're making photo manipulation stuff like this, wallpapers, is just do stuff that's cool. Just mess around with blending options and stuff. There's no real way you have to make something. This is your imagination, you know. Just come up with stuff on your own. Look at the technique, learn how to use the tools, and then just kind of come up with stuff. So I'm going to kind of balance out the colors and stuff now. So I'm going to go on down right here. I'm looking for, what am I doing? Gradient map. Come to gradient map. And we want a black to white gradient. Like that. And again, I'm just going to go cycle through the blending modes and find something cool that you like, you know. It's what you like. And that's cool. I like that right there. A little bit too bright, so we'll bring the opacity down a tad. And that looks really cool. And what I'm going to do is duplicate this little orange light layer we made. And I'm going to drag it above the gradient map like that. Awesome, guys. So now I want to get some textures going into it. As you see in this one, I have that little weird background thing. So I'm going to go over here to DeviantArt, I'm sorry. And I'm going to grab that texture I used. So just copy image, come back to Photoshop, paste it, and go in a new document. This has to go behind pretty much all the brushes, so drag it all the way down, and it's got to go behind the guy too. So this layer is going to go right above the background layer. And basically, I'm going to grab a rectangular marquee tool, and what I did is just made selections and hit delete, just like that. And just kept kind of doing it. Vary the sizes of them. You don't have to use a rectangular marquee tool. You could use a circle, make little circle patterns in them. But this gives it a cool, like almost droopy looking effect. And then I'm going to duplicate that layer, go to Edit, Transform, and Flip Vertical.